Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a clay pinch pot. So the first thing we're going to have is a chunk of clay, and you want to roll it into a ball, and you want it to be just in a round shape. It doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to change the form a little bit. So I've got a ball, it's got cracks, it's got spots, it's perfect. So what we normally do is use our thumb and press into the middle of it to create like a well. And since I have long nails on, that's kind of hard for me to do because it can poke holes in the bottom of it. So what I'm going to do is just use my knuckle and poke a hole like this. And then you take your thumb and you pinch it, which is why it's called a pinch pot. You just pinch it around and around until it gets thinner. So make sure that your bottom and the sides are equally getting pressed down. If you need to use your knuckle, you can, or you can just use your thumb. And so I'm just pressing into that. You can see it's getting cracked a little bit, but that's okay because I'm going to be able to smooth those out. And I just want to do this until it gets about an inch thick. So we don't want it to be too thin because it could break, but if it's too thick, it could pop in the kiln. Now this area right here, kind of around the edge, is the trickier part. This part, you want to make sure this is not too thick, because right now my bowl looks pretty good, but it's a little bit thick around this part right here. So I'm going to keep doing that. Make sure I'm pressing on the inside and the outside to pinch it together, and it kind of grows a little bit. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's also getting cracked. If you roll it up too many times, like if you say I make this and I don't like it, so I crumple it up, it's gonna get dry. You don't want to do that. You just want to keep adding to it, keep pinching it until you're happy with it. So if you try to restart, it's going to get messed up. We don't want to do that. So when I'm happy with it, I'm going to just take my finger and smooth out any of those cracks that I don't want to be on my piece. You want to be gentle when you do this. And I'm also setting it on the table to give it kind of a flat bottom. We don't want it to be too round, because if it's too round, it won't actually hold anything. It'll wobble around, so I kind of set it down nice and firmly. And it gives it that base that's a little bit flat. So I'm going to keep on pinching a little bit because it's a little bit thick right here. I want it to look even. And I've got a big crack right here. So I'm going to smooth that out with my thumb. Pinching it a little bit more. And now when you're done, when you're happy with it, when it's nice and smooth, I've got these texture pads that you can use that have different textures on them that you can actually kind of roll your pot on to give it some texture. I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up, but you can see I've got some little bumpies on here to give it some texture. And then I've also got some alphabet letters, alphabet pasta. These are just like soup letters that I got from Walmart, and they will actually burn up in the kiln and turn into like dust, so you can leave them in your piece and it won't mess up or anything. So I don't want to write my name on this because I'm going to save this for somebody else that doesn't have one, but basically you can take the letters and then press them into wherever. If you want to do your name on the bottom or on the side or like in the bowl part of it, it's up to you. But you just want to take it and press it in to create that kind of indent. And then, so whenever this comes out of the kiln, it's going to have a little 5 like etched into the bottom of it. So we don't have to write our name or anything with a pencil. It'll be right there. So I'm going to take this out because this is not going to be for me. But you can kind of see that little backwards 5 right there that I did. It's forwards to me, but because of the camera, it's backwards. And then when you are done with this, bring it to me. I will put it on the shelf and make sure it goes in the right place. And then that's all you need to do. Please do not go to the sink. I have baby wipes for you to wipe your hands. And you can kind of tell my table gets a little bit dusty too, so I can wipe my table and I can wipe my hands and then put that in the trash.